All right, this one is really critical. So core values-based hiring. I want to share a little story about this. So before we had a core value set, and I'm going to go over what ours are, they're listed here. I always used to say like, well, I think this person's redeemable, or I think I can make this work. I think I can figure this out. For me, at least, that was a bad habit of mine. What I realized was that I needed a way to assess, is this person going to be able to correct this or are they not? Because you want to give people a fair shot. And the way to do that is really looking at the core values. And if you hire to your core values, it's much, much easier to know that if they're going to be trainable or not. And it's easy to have a conversation with them as well. You hire them based off of core values, but we also have quarterly conversations with every one of our team on how they stand relative to the core values as well. And some of you might recognize this from EOS if you're familiar with that. If you're not, that is a separate webinar in itself. But take a look at Entrepreneurial Operating System if you're curious about that. What we do is we have our values called CARE. C is for curiosity, A is always on stage, R is relentless, and E is elevate. And you can read what they mean here. And if you don't have your core values, you can take these for now until you find yours. It's a great way to kind of get started. During our interview process, we rate every candidate 1 through 5 on the core values. So a 5 is like, you are perfect. You are better than 90% of people that we've ever met on this, and you are awesome. 4, all the way to 1, which is like 0 ability in this area. And so if they're not at least a 3 or higher on everything, usually we like to say 1, 3, and the rest have to be 4s or higher to get hired on board. And so when you ask your questions, you want to ask questions related to this. So I'll give you one example. One of our values is always on stage. Always on stage means a professional attitude, but it's also, if you think about a play, you're leading the audience through a script. You're leading them through a story. Same thing with our team. Always on stage means that you're anticipating needs, you're listening, you're leading people. And so I look for stories and examples from the interview that they've actually done that somewhere in their career. And I ask questions around that. This is part of the what we talk about in terms of an objective way to hire. This is one step you can use to objectively hire someone.